Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Chelsea Explain, as this is another Chelsea transfer news video where we're gonna get through 3 players, which is Xavi Simons, Nkunku and Chukwuemeka. And the first story is coming from Plettenberg around Simons, that in the last hours today we have held talks with Leipzig around the player. Chelsea have informed Leipzig that they want to sign Xavi Simons, and Leipzig can expect the first offer soon. I think Xavi Simons is worth around £56 million, which I think is a pretty cheap price, to be honest. It's a fair price. Chelsea want to move quickly to stay ahead of other clubs. Let's see if Bayern responds, as Bayern have held talk about Xavi today as well. This is gonna be decided whether Xavi Simons wants us or Bayern. Otherwise we could have a difficult time, because Bayern lost Musiala. He's gonna be out with a long-term injury, and therefore they're thinking, right, if we're buying Xavi Simons, he can replace him for the time being, and he probably gonna start and get tons of minutes. So maybe Xavi Simons could feel that he will get more minutes at Bayern München, but we already have personal terms agreed with him. Maybe it's an indication that Xavi Simons actually prefers to move to us. We're gonna have to wait and see for updates there. From Plettenberg has also updated with earlier today, as I just spoke about, that the deal is getting closer and a verbal agreement is near. Personal terms is not an issue, and Xavi is open to the Chelsea project. If it's true that Bayern are interested as well, it's gonna be interesting to see what the player picks. That's gonna be the ultimate decider whether we get him or not. But what do I think of Xavi Simons? I feel like he's a blend of maybe Nkunku and Palmer, that he can also create and score and plays in the half spaces like they do. I think it's an upgrade right now and for the future. And Nkunku should be in his prime right now, but Xavi Simons hasn't reached his prime yet, and he has tons to develop, but he's still really good. So he's a player that I think coming in, adding squad depth behind Cole Palmer, and we can offer him cheaper wages as well. And you need quality squad depth if you're gonna have any chance of competing with the top clubs. Otherwise you can forget about it. I don't know how many games we played last season, but we could rotate heavily because we had Conference League. But now we're gonna have Champions League. We're gonna need quality squad depth, just like Arsenal and Liverpool is adding, as well as Manchester City, that is fighting for every competition that is possible. Xavi Simons is a player I would be pretty confident with. I don't really look at players coming from Bundesliga, Leipzig, and then I determine, you know what, Havertz and Nkunku and Werner, they didn't light it up here. I don't look at that and think, oh, because they didn't play well, now Xavi Simons is not gonna play well. I don't look at that. I look at different circumstances. You have to look things in context. Werner, Havertz and Nkunku, they all 3 didn't work because they weren't used in the right way. They were bought for different reasons from different managers. Havertz and Werner was bought under Lampard, then Tuchel had to use them. He had no option, and he tried to get the best out of them, out of the team, and that meant he sacrificed some players' best positions. In terms of Nkunku, he was utilizing his best position on the Pochettino, but he got an injury that settled him out for months, and then he has struggled to get back. And then when he has got opportunities on the Maresca, it has been in positions that doesn't suit him. Xavi Simons has qualities, of course. I think his main quality is creating for others. He has a lot of flair, technicalities to play those through balls, reads the game exceptionally well, and he knows how to manipulate space to either take a shot, dribble, create something. He's a player that excels in tight spaces, which we're gonna need in abundance, especially against teams that defending in low blocks. That's the sort of teams we have struggled against, to break them down, and he's someone that's gonna add that. Maybe if we're playing against a low block next season, maybe Maresca can be a bit more bold, and we're throwing in another attacking player, and we can perhaps see both Xavi Simons and Palmer in the half spaces. I think that would be so interesting to see. I feel like he could maybe improve his physicalities, and it's gonna be interesting to see how and whether he adapts to the Premier League's tempo and physicality, and in Premier League you got less time on the ball. But I think he's a La Masia product with exceptional first touch, ball control, read of the game, technicalities that he's not gonna have any problem. Very happy with, and as I continue to stress, this is the signings we have to go for. That suits the manager. Recruitment is king and could be the key factor to a club succeeding. Now he's someone that could also play as a left winger, but I don't think he's a pure touchline winger that's gonna beat the fullback with dribbling skills and acceleration and speed. He got great acceleration, ball control and stuff, but I feel like he's more suited being a playmaker in the half spaces rather than being a pure touchline winger, constantly looking to go on the outside. I don't think that's gonna suit him. The question is also, is Xavi Simons a player that will be happy being a rotational player for Palmer? Because if he's going to be a rotational player for Palmer, he's not going to receive many minutes. It's interesting to see what plan Maresca and the club have for Simons and where he's going to be utilized. Right, so let's continue with the next story, which is from Florian Plettenberg, and he continues on the same update around Xavi Simons, that very good talks also took place with Leipzig yesterday, with more scheduled for today. Leipzig are waiting for an offer, but simultaneously they're working on a deal for Chukwuemeka, and I think he's gonna be a natural replacement, getting in there and being this creative guy, filling in the Xavi Simons role. Fabrizio Romano has also mentioned this, and some other German outlets. Chelsea position on Chukwuemeka remains clear as revealed 2 days ago. Only permanent sale would be accepted. Dortmund have also been interested and offered a loan move. Leipzig are now also keen on the deal. I mean, these Serie A clubs and Bundesliga clubs, they're only coming in with loan offers. Then you put the money up front. Like, if you want the player, you're gonna have to buy him, and I feel like that's the case now. We have to get rid of players that we don't need. Not loan them out if they don't have a future here and if the manager and the club don't believe in them. Just get rid of them, and then we free up loan spots for players in the academy or other players that we have bought that desperately need game time that also could have a future here. I feel for Chukwuemeka, massive talented player, but it's also key that you are available so the manager can see what you're all about. But he's also someone that has struggled heavily with injuries and hasn't had the opportunity to prove what it's all about consistently enough. It's a player I think we're gonna sell, and I like the idea that Chelsea is now looking to talk to clubs. All right, we're buying your player here. Are you interested in any of our players that are transfer listed? And I think they've done that with Chukwuemeka. So they have offered him in the same way, in the same talks when they have talked about Xavi Simons, which I think is brilliantly. The second player that could exit is Nkunku as well. Mana updated with us today that Christopher Nkunku's exit from Chelsea this summer remains almost guaranteed. Nkunku wants to play more with several top clubs in the background that is interested. Chelsea are open to selling him since January. More contact will follow soon. And Nkunku is too good to be a squad player. He's someone that should start for top side and play in Premier League. And the natural move I would see that where he could move is to Bayern München since Musiala is out. We got some story today actually from Bild that Nkunku is open to join Bayern even towards the end of the transfer window. His agent Pini Zahavi maintains contact with Bayern and is aware that his client could become an option for them if they fail to land their priority targets. Bayern are looking for other targets. Maybe one of them is Xavi Simons, and if they can't get him, maybe they're coming in and sweeping up Nkunku. I feel massive for Nkunku that it has gone the way it has gone. There are times where he has to take responsibility himself and work hard, but I'm saying it's not easy for every player to do that when you're constantly being played out the position or when you're having teammates receiving minutes despite not performing. And the manager has had the option to sub you in. It is what it is, but we have to get rid of the players that the manager feel like he doesn't need. And that's so important. Otherwise, it's gonna be difficult to succeed. Like, the only difference I see between Nkunku and Simons is that Simons is more of a creative player looking to create for his teammates, and Nkunku is a mix of bold but slightly towards more looking to score goals. He loves interchanging with a striker, and he can move in behind the back line. He's a player that's gonna be close to the penalty box. He's the guy that's ending moves. He could have a spot here at Chelsea. We could find a way to utilize him, but for whatever reason, Maresca has decided not to do that consistently enough. Yeah, I'm someone that believes in Nkunku's abilities. I think he has a world-class qualities and abilities. It's just that he needs to find it again, and maybe he's not gonna find it here. He needs to maybe go to another club and start over and get consistent game time in his preferred role and position. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you happy with us signing Xavi Simons? Are you content with letting Chukwuemeka and Nkunku go? And I will happily read it. And thank you so much for watching, guys, and see you for more videos. Let's explain this out. Peace.